even though parents nowadays feel that things are at times difficult and hard for them, I don't think they realise how far we've come along in the last 10, 15 years. It's been dramatic, really.
I remember the times before parent-carer forums, because I was that token parent who was on every board and often just as a tick box exercise.
I was professional. I was a deputy head of a large primary school with a special needs unit, and yet I was still completely lost in the system. And it really was a landscape where he who shouted loudest, he who made the biggest nuisance of himself, was the one that got, which wasn't a fair landscape at all.
The best thing to do is to support families to feel empowered to speak their own story and to share their own journey, so that they feel as though they're in control to some extent rather than somebody's doing something to support them.
There's a myth out there that parents always want the Rolls Royce, they want the most expensive thing. They actually don't. What they want is a Ford Focus that starts, gets them from A to B and is reliable.
I think a key message for me is simply to trust the parent carer network and talk with them about the challenges that we face. And through those conversations, I think the decisions we come to can often be certainly better considered, but often more effective in trying to do the best we can with the resources we have available.
Parent carer participation doesn't have to be difficult, and very often it's a case of just raising people's awareness of what the problem is, and slight changes to the way people work can bring about huge improvement to the experience for disabled children and their families.
Government thought it was important to set up the parent carer forums because it was one of the recommendations in this really good and effective report that Andrew Adonis and Ed Balls had written. And I think one of the striking things in that report was the need to have a much better system of hearing from parents, carers and disabled children and young people. But to be honest, I also think that they probably didn't have any expectation that the parent carer forums would go on to be such a critical plank of the whole Aiming High programme.
Families themselves, I think, wanted to be heard. And I think that the Parent Carer Forum movement allows us to do that.
Working together in partnership isn't a process, it's a belief system. You've really got to, at your core, believe that it's the right thing to do, firstly, and secondly, that you will make better decisions.
We know that being parent carers involved in a forum is very demanding, is hard work and can be quite draining.
It does take a bit longer, but you do actually chew over issues and you come to resolutions that are shared, so it's worth it.
It isn't that there is a cosy relationship here. What it is that there is a productive relationship which is based on outcomes, getting the best for children, but doesn't mean that anybody has to compromise.
I believe that the commitment this time is unequivocal. Local authorities must have regard to the views, wishes and feelings of the child or young person and their parents.
We've made the changes to the legislation, we've taken that first step, but now it's about really putting that into practice and really making a difference to the daily lives of our families.
Impact of co-production across the local area has been massive. Parents, carers and children and young people are now fully at the heart of the decision making.
You're all working towards the same common goal and you're building up that trust. I think it's the trust that makes a difference.
It's been life-changing for me. I'm now at the heart of the decision making and the new way of thinking and moving forward, placing families and young people at the centre of everything.
The difference that parent carers have made to national policy, I think, is quite profound. The voice of parents and the drive to get them more involved in co-production is very much at the heart of what we're doing.
We are led by parents and carers. We listen to and we represent parents and carers, and we work for parents and carers of children with SEND.
And numbers are empowering. So when you know you are part of a larger organisation, supported on a national basis, you have some power to change things.
We've seen outcomes improving, we've seen relationships improving, and we can demonstrate that we made a difference to children and young people today.
Whatever the sort of politics around things, it's actually the people at the heart of it that really matter.
We know there's a journey still to go. Blimey, we are well on the way.
No matter what, never give up, because we will make change happen.